Okay, so one of the questions that I had from my yesterday's Q&A is this programming for hypertrophy or size. So you want to think bodybuilding or strength training, whether it be powerlifting or just trying to get stronger, or we'll even go in a little bit of just never really lifted before, just getting started. So a lot of this is going to look like mumble jumble, right? This is all the very basics, all the way down just to building some kind of foundation. There's a bunch of advanced or elite ways to kind of manipulate variables, but we'll just start basics. So for programming for size or hypertrophy, just trying to bodybuilding, just first thing you need to understand is volume, so your reps or sets, amount of repetitions you're doing, how many times you're doing that, intensity, the weight that you're using, and the inverse relationship. As one goes up, the other one goes down. From there, you have rest intervals. Again, inverse relationship between rest and your intensity. The higher your intensity, the more rest you need. Think strength training. The type of tempo, are you lifting super fast, you slow, and your frequency, how often, or what I like to look at is your adaptation. So somebody that's in the first couple months of lifting are going to be doing things a lot less frequently, depending on intensity, compared to somebody that's been doing it for 10, 15 years, right? So first things first, again, basics. So 8 to 12 reps is a good sweet spot for hypertrophy response, as long as other things are in play. So we're sitting at 8 to 12, you go anything lower than 8, you're looking a little more strength training. Yeah, again, advanced manipulation, we'll go into that later. But as you're in that 8 to 12 range, you're sitting around 3 to 5 sets, again, based on adaptation. If you've never lifted before, you don't need to be doing 5 sets of 8. You're just gonna wear yourself out, potentially get hurt, you don't know form, those kinds of things. So the intensity, so finding your 8 to 12 range, how do I do that? Obviously, more practice that I get, around 70% of your 1 rep max. So if my 1 rep max on a bench press is 100 pounds, right, I can do that one time, that's 100%. Not everybody's gonna know that, especially if you're not a power lifter. So just finding your rep range over time, right? So if I can do more than 12, I'm obviously not really where I should be. And if I can't even get 8 reps every time, way too heavy, more ego lifting, okay? Rest intervals when it comes to a hypertrophy response need to be a little low. So I have below 60 or above 60, again, based on adaptation. So around 60 seconds or so you need to be going again. Again, cardiovascular health can come into that. If you're really out of shape, you don't do any cardio, you might need a little more rest, just kind of sticking around there whenever you're ready, right? Tempo, that's something I'm not really gonna go into a whole lot right now, just your time under tension. I know it's a big thing for hypertrophy response, right? I don't wanna be lifting as fast as I can. I want time under tension of the muscle. But just finding your 8 to 12 range and being in that range consistently will give you some time under tension. We can manipulate that variable later. Your frequency, or how often you're going, I like to hit personally for myself and clients muscles 2 times a week, and that can be a couple upper lower routines. It could be push-pull legs twice a week. Just make sure you're hitting all your big muscle parts, your legs, your chest, your back, those shoulders, those kind of things twice a week, and we can manipulate all these things. Have a stronger day at the beginning of the week, a lighter day at the end of the week. Those kinds of things we can get over. So example, aside from my workout this morning, is this: you want to start off with your big mover, so in this case like a barbell squat, for example. Then your assistant lifts are basically bringing up lagging points or assisting your big lift, right, depending on your goals. So as a hypertrophy type client, right, you're looking at something that's going to build off my legs and making it a leg day. So I have my barbell back squat, I have a front squat to focus on quads, hanging areas, just throw it abs in just a little bit, goblet squat, again quad, focusing on that squat movement, just continuously getting better now with a lighter load, and walking lunges. Then you'll have anything like isolation. These are more like optional in my opinion, to just kind of hit that muscle a little bit more, as long as you're not wearing yourself out with your intensity. You don't need to be in the gym 2-3 hours at a time, okay? So leg curl, leg extension, that's where you're doing the machine. You're taking out any stabilization, because now you're tired. You don't want to have to be focusing on trying to stand upright. Your cardio is coming into play, right? The machine does it for you. You either push, pull something, and it does the motion for you. Okay, so let's move into the next part.